So you're thinking about getting into a battery-powered electric snowblower. You're tired of dealing with the gas, the fumes, the carburetors, bad gas. We're done with it. I get it. So we're going to look at a couple different models today. Today we're going to look at Ego, and they're probably the best when it comes to outdoor power equipment. I mean, they're phenomenal. They're pretty much leading everybody when it comes to technology. We're going to look at the 21-inch snowblower. We're going to look at the snow shovel. This is the dedicated snow shovel. Now in this video, we're going to look at a couple different things, the performance of both of these tools and why somebody might want to get involved with a battery-powered snowblower and why you might not want to get involved with a battery-powered snowblower. All right, first up, let's take a look at the new 21-inch single-stage snowblower. Now they had a previous model, but this is the SNT2134. I'll leave everything in the shopping bag attached to this video for you to check out. So again, it's 21-inch clearing width and a 13-inch clearing height, 200-degree directional control. You got the handle-mounted chute, control levers, easily adjust pitch and snow throwing direction, variable auger speed control, heated handle grips, 2 bright LED lights. We'll talk about all that here in a bit. You're also going to get not one but 2 6-amp-hour batteries and a dual-port charger so you can charge them at the exact same time. Now, as you can see, both of these go in here like such. They're very easy to put in. They're very easy to take out. And I love that they actually put a door on here that the hinges doesn't smack your fingers every time you let go of it like a mousetrap like some of these other ones do. Now this handle right here adjusts which way the direction the snow will be blown, and then the other handle right here, well, that's the one that's going to allow you to adjust how far you want to throw it, and you're going to be able to throw up to 45 feet. Now here's what's really cool about this. You got a couple of different things. You got the heated grips that you can turn on, you got lights that you can turn on, but you got Bluetooth that you can actually download the app. And this thing will actually like pre-warm the grips before you go out using the Bluetooth app, which is really cool. But let's just get this thing going real quick. And don't worry, I'm going to turn up the sound. You can hear this thing going. I just like to hear my sweet voice talking right now. Now, they're stating that you can clear out a 14-car driveway, which anybody has 14 cars. I want to be your friend. But on a single charge, 14-car driveway. And, you know, I've always used 2-stage blowers. This is a single stage. I really thought this thing was going to be a pain to push. But when you're on something that's wet, slick, or even moist, this thing glides. It is super easy to push. I was really surprised with that. It does a really good job just being able to like bring this thing back, push it, and then just gliding when you're throwing the snow. So I was really pleasantly surprised with how smooth it was to operate. Now we have about 3 inches here, 2 inches here. I get it. It wasn't like a winter blizzard. But I had to do something to show you this thing being used, my friends. However, this is not my first rodeo with Ego snowblowers. And let me tell you something. They throw the snow. The torque on these things are crazy awesome. I mean, you're just pushing stuff and blowing it. The other nice thing about the single stage and being manual push is that you don't have to worry about running into things, and you have more control. They're smaller. You get into tighter areas with it, and I was pleasantly surprised with how easy it was to operate this snowblower. I just think it was real nice like. Now, I know a lot of people are going to leave comments in the comment section saying, oh, I could have just used a shovel and I'm 90 years old. Well, great. When you're done shoveling your driveway, come over and do mine as well. And I do want to point one thing out. Even though this is throwing it right where I want it to and I can adjust that, the more snow you have, the further this thing will throw it. So if you have like 5 inches, 6 inches, it is tossing this stuff. The Ego snowblowers are really impressive with how powerful they are. And I'll be honest with you, there's a couple things about this snowblower that I don't like that we're going to get to, but they do a really good job power-wise. I also like that it's smaller and you're able to store this thing fairly easy. The handles collapse. You can adjust the handle height. So if you're taller, shorter, it doesn't really matter. This thing is very compact. So compared to a 2-stage, it's just taking up space and you can't find room for it. This here collapses pretty small, and then you just store it in a corner and you don't worry about it for summer, spring, fall. And believe it or not, this thing is designed for up to 8 inches. So I'm just throwing this out there. If you're living in Buffalo, New York, or you know, the higher elevations of Ohio, or the lake effect snow that they had in Pennsylvania, this probably isn't going to do it for you. But up to 8 inches for a typical snowfall in a lot of people's driveways, this is going to do fine for you. And basically how this thing works is all you're going to do is push this button down. See, I got one hand right here. I got to hold this with a different hand, and you just pull up on that handle. So push the button down, pull up on the handle, and it's going to turn this thing on for you. The propellers are going to start propelling, my friend, and then you can see that we're just pushing that snow. And I'm sure you want to hear this thing in use, and I just want to show you. Right now, I'm going to let you hear this thing being used. And just so you know, I have a lapel mic on me, so what you're hearing is what I'm hearing, and this thing is crazy quiet. So if you're out there in the middle of the night blowing snow, your neighbors aren't going to get mad at you and all that good stuff. So very quiet, not waking up the kids, the dogs, the wife, the husband. Now the heated grips, they're really real nice. Like, I have gloves and I can still feel the heat coming through. So even if you're not wearing gloves, you're going to warm up the hands. They did a really good job on the heated grip section, and again, this thing just glides. They did a really good job all around. You got the built-in shoes on the bottom, and it's just going to go right over top of that snowage. It also does a really good job of getting close to the driveway and getting all that snow instead of leaving like an inch or a quarter inch or half an inch. It gets really close down to the actual surface that you're cleaning, and it does a really good job that way as well. So a single stage blower, which is the first time I've ever used one. I always use two stage. This did a really good job. Now, there are some negatives about this, and let's just talk about that real quick, and then we'll move it over to the snow shovel. All right, my first negative is, well, the handle here that adjusts the directional chute. It's not the smoothest. And quite frankly, it's a little bit tough. If you want this thing to go all the way over, you really got to push down on this thing and you got to pull back on it. Sometimes it doesn't go all the way to the right. It just, you got to add some oomph to it. So definitely think that could have been a lot smoother, a lot easier to use. So I just want to show you real quick. It will go over all the way, but again, it's not butter like a lot of the other ones are out on the market. You really got to pull up and use some oomph. My second issue with this unit, even though you do get a lot of bells and whistles, the app, the Bluetooth, the heated grips, the cool lights, you know, all that stuff, right? It's portable. You get the two 6 amp hour batteries, the charger. It's still $899 before tax for this unit. So you're looking at $899. I guess you're getting the ease of use, but still, $899 is a lot of money. And again, you do get the lights up on the front, on the bottom. You can put them in like a blinking mode. That's going to be a little bit safer for you. People are going to see that. However, $899, I'm just throwing that out. If you're somebody that's looking for a snowblower, you don't have to worry about oil changes, spark plugs, all that. I think this might be really good for you if you're not worried about that price. I mean, Ego is the top of the top when it comes to outdoor power equipment. Their stuff is awesome, but again, $899, that's the price of this thing. Let's move it over to the snow shovel. And I love snow shovels. They are also very easy to get in those tight, awkward areas. You go out on the deck so your dog doesn't have to wander out there in snow, get his paws all wet, cold, frosty. And you can do your patios, all that good. It goes where snow blowers can't go. So real quick, let me show you how this thing sounds and we'll get into all the specs and everything. All right, so this is going to come with a battery, a 5-year warranty. It's a 56 volt. You got 12 inches of clearing width on this thing. It's super light, super easy to maneuver, push around. But there's a very cool feature on this, which I'll show you here in a bit, that really sort of sets this apart from a lot of the other snow shovels out on the market. Now, just like I mentioned with the other snow blower, the more snow you have, the further it's going to throw it. We only have a few inches here, so not a lot, but this is able to throw snow up to 25 feet with a 60-degree directional control dial, and again, I'll show you that here in a second. Now, battery-powered equipment such as snow blowers and lawnmowers, they're hard to estimate the runtime on this because of the snow and how much you have of it, the type of snow, is it heavy, wet, moist, all that good stuff. But to give you a ballpark, they're stating this clears up to a 3-car driveway with 6 inches of snow with only the 2.5 amp hour battery. I can't remember if I mentioned, but they do state that you can blow snow up to 25 feet away with this thing. And I also really appreciate how well it gets close to the ground, like it scrapes it. So if you have anything that's like sticking up, it'll get it. Plus, it's pretty lightweight with only like 17 pounds with the battery on it. And you don't have to worry about the twisting and hurting your back when it comes to regular snow shoveling. So this is the newer model, and they really did add something to this that I thought was definitely real nice like. And I'm just going to show you that here right now. So again, both machines very capable, but what I like about this is the adjustment that you can put on here. And there's 2 different speeds. You can go low or high depending on how far you want to throw this stuff. But what's really important, instead of just throwing the snow in front of you and walking and just collecting it again, this has a directional switch. You just push down on that and it goes left to right or straight. So it pushes that snow away from you instead of just throwing it out in front of you like a lot of the other models do, and then you just have to go over it again. Now, we had this setting on high the entire time, but you just flip that switch and it'll go up to a slower setting. So you do have the 1 and 2 right here. No heated grip or Bluetooth like the other model. I didn't expect that. And it's very simple to start. You just push the button down and then pull the trigger, and that will start the machine. It also glides very easy across the surface like the other one did. And I was very happy with how well this maneuvered and how it was able to get this in tighter areas. I really do like these snow shovels. And again, I will never use a regular snow shovel again. And again, the battery just sets up on the top and the back of it like so. Very easy to remove, put back on, and you got the fast charger that will come with this kit. And just a close-up of the adjustment knob. Again, you just push down and then you rotate it. Come on, blurry camera. That's not real nice like. And you can also adjust where you want your hand handle to be. So you just loosen this up. You can pull that lever, very heavy duty, and then just tighten it back or loosen it up, whatever you want to do, and then just tighten it back down again. Now, all in all, I really do like these snow blowers. As far as it goes with price, you're looking at $329.99 for the snow shovel. Everything works very, very well on these. And the only complaint I have, again, is the 21-inch. It was a little bit tough to adjust the direction, but as far as it goes with heated grips, I think it worked awesome. They really, really do. I like the Bluetooth. I like that this is a smart device. You can hook it up to your phone with an app. Some people might not care about that, but you know, you can heat it up if you don't want to use the Bluetooth. You can turn your lights on simply by pushing that button there, the heated grips, the Bluetooth, all that. I think they did a really good job on both of these, again, except for a couple smaller things. But again, the one thing that I think a lot of people are going to have to take into consideration is the price of them. They're not cheap, but I believe that convenience plays a role in that price. Again, you don't want to deal with spark plugs or trying to start this thing on a winter day and it not starting. Bad gas, changing oil, the fumes, the noise, all that stuff goes away with one of these machines. And I know a lot of people, they knock the battery power stuff, but the torque on these machines are pretty much unreal, just like a Tesla car. That's why they're beating everybody off the line. The torque is there. The thing is, there is limitations to this. You know, if you got 2, 3, 4, 5 feet, well, this isn't going to cut it. This is good for up to about 8 inches, and that's really about it. You can get away with a little bit more, but you know, you're really pushing it after the 8 inches. And it also comes down to runtime. Yeah, the battery power, depending on the size of battery you have, they'll run for quite some time. Again, the 21-inch, this one right here, will clean a 14-car driveway, but then you got to go and charge the batteries. You don't just put more gas into it, and that takes a little bit of time, so you got to keep that into consideration as well. But what I will say to you is if you are looking for outdoor power equipment, there's a couple companies that does it right when it comes to the battery power stuff. Ego is the top of the top, in my opinion, when it comes to outdoor power equipment that is ran on the battery. And if you're one of those people that love your manual $8 snow shovel, then keep it. This is not for you, but for somebody that has back issues or just doesn't want to deal with all the stuff we talked about and swinging your back and blowing your back out or whatever, then a snowblower is definitely the way to go. But is it the electric snowblower that's the way to go? Well, hopefully this video has helped answer that question. I think it does a good job. There wasn't that much snow down. There's only a couple inches, few inches here. But I've used Ego snowblowers in the past, and they are phenomenal. I have other Egos, and they are just crazy powerful. So very happy with this. I'll never go gas again when it comes to snow blowing. I'm not a professional snow remover. I'm not a contracting company that does this for a living. Those people wouldn't like something like this. It's just not built for them. These are DIY homeowners. And if you're somebody that's in the market for one, definitely check these out. Also, if you want to check something else out, check out this video right here. We'll be back with more videos soon.